Our next speaker is Jess St. John, an active and enthusiastic volunteering veteran, a dedicated high school teacher, and representative for Retrieving Freedom, an organization training service dogs for veterans and children living with autism. After listening, search their website for follow-up information on how to apply for a canine companion or to donate to their program and support their mission.
All right, hi, my name is Jess. I am here representing Retrieving Freedom and of course American Brawn. This is my service dog, Victor. I'm representing Retrieving Freedom specifically, and they're out of Waverly, Iowa, and they have a couple other facilities in the Midwest. So Retrieving Freedom to me is special because they provide service dogs at no cost to veterans and children with autism. All you need is an honorable discharge and to be service connected. So you don't need a specific disability rating to get a service dog, but you do need to be service connected. One of the things about Retrieving Freedom, well, maybe I'll just tell you about my experience. So I am a veteran of Iraq and Afghanistan, and when I came home and decided to go to college, I got out of the military, I did not realize that I would have like any implications or any like emotional problems. I kind of had that mentality like I can tackle anything. And slowly I started to realize that that wasn't the case. And I didn't want to admit to myself really what was happening. And so I started to volunteer with Retrieving Freedom. It was an outlet for me. I got to meet veterans and help train dogs and things like that. Over time and going to therapy and being in the VA, I realized that it's okay to need help. And so I ended up actually applying for a dog, and I got Victor. But it was a long process. A lot of times as veterans, we don't want to admit that there's anything wrong with us or that we need help. And that was my biggest hurdle. I didn't want to apply for a dog because I didn't want to go around in public and say, yeah, I have a dog because, I have a mental health issue. Before I used to say, hey, I volunteer, so I'm helping train. But when I got Victor, I had to tell people, yeah, I have PTSD. And just that alone was a healing process. And to admit to myself and have to tell strangers, because a lot of people will come up to you if you have a dog. It's one of the things you have to get used to, is you have to tell people, like, yeah, I'm a veteran, and yes, I have mental health issues. So having a dog is a healing process itself. Like, you have to admit to yourself, and you have to admit to other people. So, I don't know, that was just something that I didn't expect, and I think that was actually one of the best things that happened to me, is that I had to admit that. You can go to years of therapy and go to the VA, but until you're confronted with it in public and out in the open, sometimes it doesn't really affect you,
Tell us what having a service dog does for you.
Okay, so having a service dog, now Victor's trained to mitigate symptoms of PTSD. So if I feel uncomfortable, he will help me out in public. So if I feel really uncomfortable with someone that's coming close to me, like let's say I'm at the supermarket, I can say, Victor, front, and he'll go in front of me. And without having to tell that person, hey, you're creeping me out, he will come in front of me and he will create distance. Because most people will back up or get out of the way for Victor. And that seems like something very small, but when you're having a moment or a panic attack, it can really kind of subtly make that moment much better. And of course, they have tasks that they do to help mitigate the symptoms, but honestly, just having Victor helps me the most, knowing that he's there for me. And you can get that with a pet, but with a service dog, they can go with you everywhere. So maybe even if you're not in public a lot and you don't have panic attacks, just knowing that he can go with you places is like that peace of mind that can help you kind of get through the day, I guess, so to speak. The training that Victor received before I got him was substantial, and that's one of the reasons I like Retrieving Freedom. They're a nonprofit, so you don't have to pay for anything. They ask you to help fundraise a little bit, but no money comes out of your pocket. And they use retrievers, and their dogs have a good lineage, I guess you could say. They know all the dogs' family history, so you don't ever have to worry about your dog maybe having an episode or having their own PTSD symptoms in public. So when I got Victor, I knew that he came from a good family. I know that he has no aggression issues. So when I have him in public, I don't have to be worried about what he's going to do or how he's going to react, which is, that eases a lot of my anxiety. Because sometimes when you're taking a dog in public, you're nervous about how they're going to act. And so to know that Victor was well trained and he doesn't have any issues was a big deal.